originally was Tiger. The Tech Talks, we rebranded it as Tiger Connect because we are making connections that are stronger between home and school. We need our families, our communities to be aware of what we're doing here in our school district, but also understanding that we are in this together. We thank you to those of you who joined. We have been doing these sessions since about March, and we revamped and started a different series in the summer. Again, the sessions are recorded, so the YouTube videos, the resources, they are all uploaded online for you following the sessions. Please pass the word that we're here every Tuesday at 12 noon and at 6 p.m. for our parents with a presentation prepared. Today, you're in for a treat. It is a dual split day. This morning at noon, you'll have a presentation from Miss Ashley Jackson, our new communications and engagement director here in the district. She's doing a wonderful, wonderful job, and we're excited to have her on our team. She's going to share with us some cyber safety, social media do's and don'ts for our families. Very important topic. We're pushing for digital media and digital literacy, and we're doing our extended learning and teaching opportunities. But oftentimes teachers, parents, community, grandparents, aunts, uncles, we know that our kids are not always on the educational websites that they should be, nor doing the right things always on the internet. So Miss Ashley is going to share with us some do's and don'ts and some ways that we can make sure that we're more internet savvy and a step ahead of those little people. So we're excited. You're in the capable hands of Miss Ashley. And after this at 6 p.m., we invite you back again for using the same link for a session that is strictly about HPSD registration and how you go through the process. And our registration, our MSIS clerk, will be presenting with myself. Her name is Ms. Regenesis Winters. So today you get an opportunity to hear two different sessions: cyber safety at noon and 6 p.m. registration. So pass the word, pass the word, pass the word. Again, Miss Ashley Jackson, thank you.
Hello all. Thank you, Ms. Vaughn, for that awesome introduction. I hope everybody can see my screen. Like stated before, my name is Ashley Jackson, and I am the communications director for the school district. And let's get started. So everyone can see my screen. Give me 1 minute, guys.
Miss Ashley, you're doing wonderful, but you're muted.
Sorry about that.
All right. It is okay.
So we are going to start. No, I thought something was going on. You never know. So, Hattiesburg Public School District cyber safety. Woo! Social media do's and don'ts for your family. So basically today we're just going to go down the line of some good tips you need to know, and some things just to keep in your back pocket when you're at home with your student, or, you know, just around some kids. You just want to make sure you know what's going on. So we're going to go to the next one. First off, HPSD mission and vision. Of course, our mission of the Hattiesburg Public School District is to educate all students to become productive citizens of a dynamic global community. In our vision, the HPSD district is a model teaching and learning community that graduates productive and caring citizens who are prepared to succeed. Those are our kids. And so just going into our goals, you know them, but I'm just going to go over them really quick. Academic success, all students proficient and or showing growth in all academic areas. Community support and engagement, foster community partnerships that support student achievement and school success. Safe and orderly schools, maintaining a positive learning environment, and fiscal accountability, maintaining sound fiscal practices. So those are our goals. Going over social media tips. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Communicate with your child. You're probably like, okay, Ashley, how do I communicate with my child? You just have to talk. It's super simple. Have conversations about how to avoid strangers, how to prevent revealing too much information about themselves, and general internet safety. Teach them about some of the social media safety tips. One of the things is in my family, our kids, we have 2 boys, and they love being on social media. They love being on the gaming, those games where, you know, I'm just trying to figure out one of the games. I can't think of it, like the NBA games, the NFL games, all those different type of games. You can be exposed to a lot of information, and they can be exposed to a lot of information. So just making sure they know, hey, this is what you don't put on social media in the game, and this is what you do put on there. So just making sure your child knows what that is, because if they don't, they won't ever know. So just making sure you're not assuming they know, but letting them know, hey, this is what is okay to go on social media and any devices that they're on. Moving along, our first social media tip: educate yourself about social media. Start by finding out what kind of apps and sites your child is interested in. Okay, Ashley Jackson, she is involved in, and she loves Twitter, and she loves Facebook. And so if your child loves or is interested in that, go read up on some reviews, age limits, and fine prints on what's going on in that app and what's accessible to your child. Like I talked about just earlier, one of the examples is Facebook and Instagram. Finding out what you can do on Facebook, what age you have to be on Facebook, your age limits, and your fine print and reviews about what's going on Facebook and Instagram, and how you can make yourself a little bit more familiar with that social media site. And moving along, just educating yourself about social media. We already chatted about this. Social media tip number 2. Get a head start. If you don't have an account on the social media site your child wants to use, consider getting one. Teaching yourself the ins and outs of the site. Make sure you know exactly what they can and cannot do, and decide what they should and shouldn't do. If we pause for a minute, one of the things that we've worked out in our household is that we know what games or anything that our children download, it comes straight to our phone and our email. So making sure that you're in control of what they are downloading, and you're in control of, and you have some type of, I wouldn't say control, but you have some type of notice of what your child is using on their social media tablet, on their cell phone, on their computer. And making sure that you just have that in the back of your mind. Okay, that's what they're downloading today. And making sure that's something that you want your child on. So just knowing exactly what they can and cannot do on those social media sites. Social media tip number 3. Teach your kid about posting on sites. Deleting a post does not mean it's permanently gone. One of the things that we've been doing is just letting our kids know, hey, when you delete it, it's not gone. If someone tags you in a photo, if someone tags you in a post, if you delete it off of your page, it may not be necessarily gone, because it might be on someone else's page that they were tagged in. So being aware of that, in all their online posts, comments, likes, shares are a part of their digital footprint. So what's your digital footprint? What does your digital footprint look like? What does your page look like? I would start assessing yourself, and once you assess yourself, you can help assess your student or your child on their digital footprint. And it's great to start before they even get one. Just making sure they know, hey, this will affect you down the line, and it's not deleted. So it may not seem like a big deal right now and in that moment for your child, but it could potentially hurt them when they get older and enter college or the job market. And we'll talk about a little bit about social media posts a little bit later. I'll show you some, because I'm a visual learner, so I love to make sure that people have different ways of learning on how things can affect you later on down the line. So going to social media tip number 4, let your kids know the importance of privacy. It's so important to make sure your student or your child knows that privacy is key. And you don't want to let too many people know about too much information. So many social media sites request names, dates of birth, social names, school names, and hometown. Teach your child how much personal information is just too much. And all that is a simple conversation. Hey, this is too much information. They shouldn't know what street we live on. It's okay for them to know your @ name. Let's say it's @ Ashley Jackson. It's okay for people to know that. But when it comes to your hometown, your date of birth, a social security number, school names, that's just a little bit too much information for people. So making sure you're sharing that with them. And remember that these types of personally identifying information, if exposed in a data breach, could make them vulnerable to identity theft. Making sure you're reading up on, okay, so what is identity theft? And I know most of us do know what that is, but making sure your student knows, hey, so this is possible and it happens to people. And you need to make sure you do not put yourself in that situation by exposing us and exposing you with this information. So just making sure you guys are going over this at home and you keep it at the forefront with social media and being online, because things are rapidly changing with online presence with kids, with students, with parents, and with the entire world. Because right now, during the COVID-19, everybody's online, and everybody during the quarantine process is looking for something to do. And we'll get a little into that later. Talking about social media safety first. Beware what you share. I'm going to say it one more time. Beware what you share. And that's so important because you never know what you're sharing. You never know who's looking. And you never know how it may affect you later. So a little bit about why I picked beware what you share is guard your location. A lot of social media sites similar to Twitter and Facebook. I haven't really saw on Instagram yet, but well, no, you can do it on Instagram too, all three. And I'm only saying these three because these are my mainstream social media sites that I see every day. It might be different for you, and that's okay. So when I talk about guarding your location, personalizing social media status updates with a live location taken from mobile devices, GPS. This can get tricky. You don't want to go out and have your child, let's say you guys are at McDonald's. Let's say you guys are at the grocery store. If you're at the grocery store and your live location and their live location is on, that person or anybody else that is a follower of your child can see exactly where you are in that current time by your mobile device's GPS. So a good thing to do if your child is getting on social media, you need to be aware that you can go in the settings and you can turn GPS locations off. And that's an easy how-to on Google, and you just type it in. How do I turn it off? Or how do I deactivate it? So making sure that your child isn't going around when you guys are leaving the home, when you guys are at specific locations, out to eat, family events, making sure that when they post, sometimes you could do it without knowing it, that location doesn't come on their screen to let other people know, hey, I know where they are. Let's go where they are. So you don't want that. The other one is beware of imposters. Catfishing is a form of cyber stalking where the user sets up a fake profile and poses as someone else, often as another child, to try to engage contact with your child. So how do we protect them? We protect them by letting them know what catfishing is, cyber stalking is, and how to look for it. And so you'll see those fake pictures that are posed different in Paris or in those exotic places that make it look like it's an actual profile picture, but it's not. So making sure you're talking to your student about that. Know your network. Advise your child never to approve friend requests or add people that they don't know in real life. And be sure they know never to meet anyone in person that they met online. I think I was in a conference before and they were talking about this, how students are trying to meet in person the same people that they see online. And that's just not a good idea. So just making sure you're having that network, that open line communication to talk to your child about approving friend requests and asking and being okay to ask, hey, dad, hey, mom, can I add them, or is this safe to add? And having that open line communication with them, because it will really, really help in the end. So that is guard your location. We're going to go into cyberbullying for a minute, because we've seen a big presence, especially with the cyberbullying. We've seen a big presence, especially with the state that we're in right now, everyone is online. Everybody is basically cyber. And so you definitely want to be on the lookout for cyberbullying. What is cyberbullying? Okay, so it's harassment in the digital world and extends across multiple channels. And bullies can now use the entire scope of the internet to target their victims. And so I'm here to help you make sure you don't fall in that category. How can my child be cyberbullied? Okay, these are three certain different channels they could, but not the only three. One of them is blogging websites. This is when websites are both public and widely shared. Cyberbullies can directly call out their victims by tagging them in blogs and in the comment sections. And they can then spread the post throughout the blogging community and other connected social channels. And so making sure you're on the lookout for this if this can pertain in your household. Email. Once cyberbullies have a victim's email address, the bully can engage in email attacks on the victim. And this can happen when the cyberbully sends large numbers of harassing messages from anonymous accounts. If you're seeing those f12fox3@gmail.com emailing your student, then we need to have a talk. And so the bully can also sign the victim's email address up for explicit or offensive email lists, potentially flooding the account with inappropriate or insensitive material. So just making sure if you're on Gmail, if you're on Yahoo, if you're on Outlook, if you're on Microsoft, making sure you're watching your email and watching the spams, watching all mail, and you can go ahead and figure that out in your personalized email address. Now with social media, cyberbullies attack their victims on social media. They post, they send messages, and they also can create a fake account impersonation. And so when you get into that bind, fake accounts of a made-up persona to tease the victim or catfishing with so many channels to do damage. And so that's when you have an individual XYZ individual, they post on social media something to attack another individual, ABC. And so just making sure that you are in the known about your social media sites that your child is on and how to prevent that. So that's one of the other ways, cyberbullies. And if you guys have any questions, be sure to chat in the chat. I'm always open to talking. Text slang, what you see on your screen. I wanted to make sure you guys got this in your noodle because you got to get hip parents. You got to get hip guardians. You have to know what is being said to your child, and you have to be in the known about what's going on right now in the world with text slang, with online slang. Some of the stuff is on the screen. It's so many. I just had to pick from some of the things they had online. AIR, that means adult in room. ASL means age, sex, and location. ASLP, age, sex, location, and picture. CD9, code 9, parents are around. These are some of the things that you want to make sure you're on the lookout for. So if you see that, you know what it is. One of the other things, direct messages, is DM. KMS is kill myself. And we're hoping that that doesn't surface anywhere. LMIRL, let's meet in real life. TAW, teachers are watching when they're at school. 1174, meeting place for a wild party. And PAW, parents are watching. So I know it's kind of new and it might be a little different for you, but in your text messages, in your students' text messages, in your child's text messages, in their direct messages, in comments, you want to make sure if you see these type of things, you know what it says and you know what it means. And so that's some of the little slangs that you can be in the known about. Moving on, warning signs of cyberbullying. If you are seeing something in the cycle about cyberbullying, this is what you might see. They appear nervous when they receive a text, online message, or email. They don't want anybody around when they see the phone or they see the iPad light up. Their device habits change. They may stop using their devices or begin using them excessively. Then that's when you need to find out, okay, what's really going on with little Johnny? They make excuses to avoid going to school. They become defensive or offended or secretive about online activity. They withdraw from friends and family. They have physical symptoms such as troubling sleeping, stomach aches, headaches, or weight loss gain. And so these are just some. These are not just one of the things you may see. You might see one or many, and you might see none, and I'm praying that you don't. And so if you do see this, this may be a sign, and you may want to look into it. Going forward, these are some more signs. Cyberbullying. They begin falling behind in school or acting out. Their grades start declining. They appear especially angry, frustrated, or sad, particularly after going online or checking their devices. And I want to pause right there because they're angry, frustrated after going to check their tablet or their phone. I'm not saying that this might be the only cause, but it could be a potential cause of cyberbullying. And you want to make sure your student is okay or your child is okay. So just making sure you're in the know about that. They delete social media or email accounts. Now, just something I would like to share. One of the things that my family does is we don't have social media accounts. I know I don't, and I know my fiance doesn't. We decided that that's just something we don't want anymore, and we decided to get off of social media. And so if you do not have, and you're in that type of case where you don't have social media, and you want to monitor your student and you want to monitor what they're doing, I would definitely suggest maybe just getting a test, or not a test one, but just a dummy one, or just something with you and your family's name on it, just so you can monitor. You don't have to get friends. You don't have to follow anybody, but just to make sure, okay, my child is posting appropriate things, and what they have on there, what they're saying is a complete reflection of our family. So I was just making sure you're in the know about that too. One of the things that one of my colleagues shared with me was you want to also add, watch what you do offline. Online, I totally understand. You want to make sure everything you have online is up to par, and it looks nice, and it sounds nice, and it's appropriate, but also offline. One of the things I wanted to show you guys is online, you can say some people have said some crazy things. My boss is such a blank, blank, blank. You can fill in the blank for yourself. And then sometimes I see Mr. Calvin King or whoever this was on Google, he ended up saying KFC fired me today. And then he gave out the recipe for KFC. And so you want to watch not only what you do online, but you want to watch what you do offline, because a lot of people are watching, and you want to let your child know that in this day and age, anything can be recorded. You can be recorded while you're doing XYZ, and you never know. And the video will resurface later. So just making sure they know, hey, even though you're not online doing social media and you're not doing anything inappropriate, you're doing things appropriate, watch what you do off camera too, because it can come back and bite you. It can be posted. It can be broadcasted. So making sure they know that not only are your actions online when people are looking matters, but everything that people don't see matters. So I know we talked about a lot of stuff that was a little, not depressing, but definitely something that you need to know, but not too much good information. But I just wanted to throw in some positive spices for you. Social media can help kids. It can help kids stay connected with their friends and family. It can volunteer or get involved with a campaign, nonprofit, or a charity. It can enhance their creativity by sharing ideas, interact with others who share similar interests, and communicate with educators and fellow students. So it does have some good attributes. It does have some good sides. It has some pros. It's not all cons. So social media is a good avenue for some students and their families. One of the things that, just bringing it back home to Hattiesburg Public School District, with cyberbullying, we were talking about cyberbullying or anything when it comes to bullying, we have the See It, Say It app. And you can go to our website, visit HattiesburgPSD.com. And all you have to do is scroll down and you'll click a report. And it says file a report in red language or red lettering. And basically you can submit a tip directly at the link. And this is what it's going to look like. You're going to open up this. And this is what it's going to look like when you go and submit a tip form. And this is when you see something and you want to remain anonymous, or you have someone bullying your child, or your child has somebody bullying them and they go to this. This is the active resource that we have on our website, so you can make sure that you are reporting it. And so one of the things that I wanted to show you on the Hattiesburg PSD website, just so you know, when you scroll down on the district website, you'll see it right here. So file a report, and you'll click that. And basically you will be able to see and file a report for your student. Going back to the presentation, one of the app help for parents is See and Send. And one of the things that we have is a help link that can help you if you have an iPhone or if you have an Android when you're trying to access the See It, Say It app. And you'll be able to upload a tip or upload anonymously what information that you have. And so that's one of the things. In Hattiesburg PSD, that's basically what I had just showed you on our district page. You will be able to do that on that website. This is the questions part of the presentations. I'm open to if you have any questions, if you have any just how-tos, and I have some questions myself that I know are frequently asked. So if you have anything, I'm definitely open. And of course, my information is below. With communications, we have Facebook, Twitter, and our YouTube channel for the district. And you can follow us on all, and you can also get information to your phone directly whenever we upload on YouTube, whenever we post on Facebook, and it can have a little ding on your phone when we update our social media sites. Any questions, any comments?
Thank you so much, Ms. Jackson. You can drop your questions in our chat box, or you can come off mute and ask Ms. Jackson. We really appreciate her giving us her time. Very informative, especially for me, the tech slang slide, because I still don't know what most of that means when I see it. Definitely, will you go back to the slide, Ms. Jackson, with our See It, Say It app? We want to make sure that our parents and community members are definitely aware of how you report things that you see, or even how your student or your child, your niece or nephew can make those reports in the building. Also, we have Air It Out, which is our avoid, ignore, report strategy that we use in our school sites, and students, adults, parents, they're allowed to fill out those forms and turn them in to administrators and to counselors for follow-up. Never be afraid to say something. Definitely a very informative session, going through the expectations, how to use social media, gaming responsibly, and then the resources to follow up. Is there any parent? Is there any individual on the call that may have questions? Ms. Jackson, you did say something about the legal age for having social media accounts. Will you expound on that?
So legal age for, let's say, Facebook, I would say, is 13 years old. Oh. And so in order to have, basically allowing those under 13-year-old to create an account, Facebook's statement of rights and responsibilities require users of the social network to be at least 13 years old. And if we say, let's go to Instagram, is 13 years old for Instagram to require everyone to be at least 13 years old to create an account. And so just making sure you're aware of that. Even for Twitter, it's 13 years old. So just making sure your household is aware of that when you're creating those social media sites for your child that is under 13 years old. And if they are over 13 years old, you're just making sure you're monitoring it.
Miss Jackson, you did mention the 3 big ones that most of us are familiar with, but there's another one that's really growing now, the TikTok one. Do you have any advice for parents, for community members, for us moms and dads on the TikTok? Because I don't think you even have to have an account to access that material.
So basically with TikTok, our kids do a lot of TikTok, and it's fun, it's cute, and sometimes it can be a bit much. But the legal age for TikTok is 16 years old. And so anyone under the age of 16 years old cannot access this platform according to TikTok, right? And so Google has to be 13 years old and no account necessary to view TikTok. Gotcha. Thank you, Miss Taylor. Thank you, Miss Taylor. And so with TikTok, I would suggest you're very, very, very careful with TikTok, because some of the language I've heard is a bit vulgar, like it's a bit much. And so with TikTok, you can screen record those videos. And some people think, oh, when I delete those TikTok videos, nobody's going to know. No, that's not true. If someone goes into your account, let's say you go on Ashley's page. I don't have one, but if I did, you go on Ashley's page and you click Ashley's profile and you screen record on your device what I have on my page, but I decide to delete my page next week or delete all my videos. That video can still resurface to social media. That video can still resurface to the internet. And so being aware of these social media sites that, you know, they say you can delete them, but in reality, there's no way of knowing what information is still out there once deleted. So just being very aware of that.
Wow, great information. Is there anyone else on the team that has anything to add to social media responsibilities? And I do know also too, as a parent, even or aunt to younger kids, another platform that we really don't think about, but really is social media in some form or shape, YouTube. When we put our children on to watch cartoons or learning videos, sometimes it does make suggestions for them to continue watching. And if you have kids like I'm exposed on a daily basis, they keep scrolling and scrolling, and they simply click, and they may inadvertently get into an inappropriate video. So that's another reason to have those filter options that and those parent controls on your devices that Miss Jackson mentioned, because it's not intentional. It's just, that's just the next suggested video based on what that child was watching. Miss Jackson, did you have anything to add to the YouTube piece?
So basically just kind of a brief step-by-step. When you're on YouTube and you're just, like you talked about, those parental controls, you access your youtube.com, sign into the YouTube account, click the settings in the left-hand corner. And
Ms.
then
Jackson, will you share your screen, please? We can't see that. That way it'll be a part of our video.
Let me see.
So that parents can reference it. Thank you again.
Oh, let me go here. Okay, so now you guys should be able to see it.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm basically on the HPSD Communications YouTube page. And of course, go and subscribe and like, because we do have all of our videos on here and we will be uploading. So basically, access youtube.com, sign into my YouTube Google account, click the settings in the left-hand corner. So basically, I'm going to go here. There we go. Settings. So it's going to be in your right-hand corner. Click the drop-down menu. So I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to click the drop-down menu at the bottom of the page, reads restricted off. Click the drop down menu at the bottom of the page. Bear with me, guys. Trying to privacy. I believe it should be here. Terms of service.
I noticed that with the playlist too. How to make those private as well, so that you don't have advertisers seeing what you're watching and they'll make other suggestions.
Right. I'm trying to find just to make sure, update YouTube permissions, just to make sure you can see it on my end. And for some reason you cannot. And then my settings.
I think maybe privacy, Miss Jackson.
Privacy. Playlist. Keep all my saved playlists private. Keep all my subscriptions private. Manage your subscriptions here. I see subscriptions, but it should be in here somewhere. But if I can't find it, I definitely can upload something.
And then, of course, Miss Jackson, you're over that age, so you may not have that option.
Right, it might not have the option.
Yeah. It probably has it on my kid that's watching Joel Vaughn's settings.
Right.
That ability.
But either way, just going into your settings. And, you know, one of the great things about it is if you guys are logged into us right now and you can't find what you're looking for, Google is the best friend ever. And so if you just type it in there, they have so many resources to find out how to do it, and YouTube videos. But you definitely want to make sure. One of the things that I saw a couple of months ago was the Momo challenge. They had YouTube had a really, really hard time with getting that Momo challenge off of commercials while let's say kids videos were running. And so it was rumors around when I was in news how that video about suicide was coming on screen while a kid was watching, let's say, ABCs. And so just making sure that your child is protected from that, basically.
Definitely. Awareness is key. Miss Jackson, while you're there, will you show them how to subscribe to our YouTube channel? The Tiger Connect videos that we've done in the past, the Tech Talks. We do have a playlist there. Underneath those videos, there are live links to all of the previous resources that have been available. So if you would click the subscribe button, where is it, Miss Jackson? Will you put your cursor there?
See, it probably is not going to be on my end, but if I did.
Right now you have 8 subscribers, which one of them I know is me.
Right. So if you basically, when you go to Hattiesburg Public School District, and you should see us over, I apologize, HPSD Communications.
Yeah.
You should see the subscribe button right here. Of course, it's not going to show right now because I am HPSD Communications. But let's say if you went, basically, if you went to Jackson Public Schools, you'll see the red subscribe button, and you want to click that for HPSD Communications. And that's how you'll be in the know about anything that we do, any video we upload, and the things that we're doing great in our district.
Yes, and you'll be able to get back to those. I'm actually going to share my screen at this point with you. Miss Jackson, will you go to our homepage so they can see the Tiger Connect videos? They're also available there. Miss Jackson, her team, Dr. Williams worked really hard to make sure that everything is accessible to our parents and in one place. So some of it's housed here in YouTube, and yes, that's a lot of work. We're putting it in 2 places, but we want it available for our parents there. So it's also available under the At Home tab. If you go to our home page there, Miss Jackson, there you go. And Tiger Connect, those videos are there for you as well. So you can click there. You'll also see that Schoology, email, any resource that is online and accessible to your child at home. You can easily click there and they'll be able to log in. You don't have to Google, you don't have to search. It is there for you. We're working to make that tab even more parent friendly, to where there's simply 2 places that you would click and it will take you in turn to all those resources. But that's definitely a start. We appreciate you all working with us on that. I'm going to share my screen at this point so I can do my favorite part. Those of you who won our door prizes last week, please, I hope you did receive those. We did it a little different last week. We actually mailed it to you in the mail, as opposed to sending you one digitally. You should have gotten a very nice card from us. Here, I'm sharing my screen with you, so you should be able to see. I am subscribed to Hattiesburg Public School District. So when it just says subscribe there, and I click, so it'll send me reminders when she posts new videos. It's one of my playlist here that she actually did too, a how-to playlist. So any instructional videos, how to log into different websites, how to get to your child's email address, those are on that playlist. And then she has our Tiger Connect videos, which as you watch one, you can see here to the right that others begin to be suggested for you. So we're excited to have that available. Thank you for being patient with us as we work on improving that too. I hope everyone has signed in on my sign-in sheet. The link was available there in your, in your chat box. And I'm going to take those names and I've dropped them into my wheel spinner. Do appreciate your time, your sacrifice, you sharing the information, coming to get the information to share with others. So all the names have been dropped in there. I'm going to give it a spin and let's see who's the winner of our 12 noon door prize. Wow, Mr. Duncan. Mr. Duncan. Great job, Mr. Duncan. Look at Mr. Duncan. We're going to say community member joined in. Okay, we'll give it one more whirl here. Again, thank you all so much. We want to see you back again. Same link at 6 p.m. for our registration must know. Yay, Miss Burton. That's Joel's bestie's mom. Yay. So you will get that gift card in the mail to you. We will mail it to you, mail it to you, mail it to you. So you'll have those soon in the mail with a nice card. Again, we thank you so much for your support of Hattiesburg Public School District. And we thank you for entrusting us with your most valuable asset, your children. Have a wonderful afternoon. Please join us back at 6 p.m. So that you can see our registrations must knows. There are a few things that have changed this year, such as you can upload your documents through your active parent account as you register. Registration opens tomorrow, July 1. So we're doing a 6 p.m. session with all those parents who are interested, who need additional support. So share this link, that information with your parent PTA groups, with other individuals so they can come and see. If you're comfortable with active parent, that is fine, but we want to make sure that we get the information out to our families. That link again for registering will be live tomorrow, July 1, and you can also go physically to your school sites to register July 1. So we'll have all that information available for you this afternoon at 6 p.m. on the presentation. It too will be recorded and then posted on our Tiger Connect tab there so that you can access it. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, you all. Thank you so much for joining us.